Hold on to your butts, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm really excited for this one. Valve just dropped all the details about the Steam console called the Steam Deck. Let's talk about this. So the Steam Deck is Valve's new console. This is what Steam machines should have always been. And you know what? I'm actually pretty happy with how my prediction video went about the Steam console just a couple weeks ago that I did. Let's look at this together. Holy crap, I am so excited about this, you guys. The Steam Deck is the most powerful, full-featured gaming handheld in the world. We partnered with AMD to create Steam Deck's custom APU optimized for handheld gaming. It's a Zen 2 and RDNA 2 powerhouse, delivering more than enough performance to run the latest AAA games in a very efficient power envelope. It is most definitely not meant to fit in your pocket. That's okay. This is a full-fledged PC in a handheld form factor. It looks really good, I think. It gives you the options for thumbsticks on both the left and the right, as well as trackpads, which some games would benefit really well with a trackpad on the left and the right. And then we also have 4 face buttons, A, X, and Y, and we have a D-pad on the left. There's also a menu and a stop button, it looks like. It looks like a stop button. Then there's a Steam and a more button. So that's actually quite a bit more buttons on the face of the machine than other options give. I guess there's plus and minus and then home and screenshot on the Switch. But yeah, this is super cool already. I kind of like the form factor, although it does seem a bit wide. But I guess to accommodate all this input, it's going to have to be. Thumbsticks, here we go. So we have best-in-class thumbsticks, according to this right up here, with capacitive touch sensors built in. Fascinating, providing a level of precision and comfort not found on other portable gaming devices. That's really interesting. I've never heard of capacitive touch sensors inside of a thumbstick before. I wonder if these are like bespoke designs for the Steam Deck here. We have fully analog triggers, which the Nintendo Switch does not have. It has just buttons. And then we also have grip buttons down here, which there was one on either side on the Steam controller, and there are 2 here. So we have L4 and L5. So that means if this is L4, then that means that the click is L3, the click of the analog stick. That's fascinating. So we have a touch screen, 7 inches, which there was debate about whether or not that was going to be a thing. But I mean, I at this day and age, I really would have been surprised if they didn't go with a touch screen here. They have a trackpad on either side that lets you, play first-person shooters the way God intended. Also gyro controls. And all of the gyro haters out there need to actually try this and try and get used to it before they poo-poo on it, because gyro controls are the way to play games like a first-person shooter if you don't have an actual mouse. Like if you don't have a mouse, the next best way to do it is with a trackpad and gyro controls. Speaking of, we have Doom Eternal running on this thing, and we have a little text down here, actual gameplay running on prototype hardware. And this thing looks pretty mint in this, I'm not going to lie. Although the screen color kind of, I don't know if that's just because it's an off angle, but it looks a little muted. Maybe that's just Doom Eternal. But we have fast storage, hi-fi audio, 40 watt-hour battery, which according to this can lead to 7 or 8 hours of continuous play. But that's probably going to be heavily dependent on the game and how optimized it is for this device. We have expandable I/O, which the USB-C jack has. It can do pretty much everything, which is one of the awesome things about USB-C. It has Wi-Fi, of course. It has fast suspend and resume, which is really cool. And it's built on SteamOS. That is critical. This is a Steam machine. This is running SteamOS. I am so stoked about this, because that means that there is a console on the market that runs Linux natively. And as Victoria Carey noted, it looks like that's KDE Plasma running here. So it looks like SteamOS is actually running KDE Plasma when you put it into desktop mode. Not my choice, but I mean, probably for gaming, it's the best choice. And again, you can see it here. We're in desktop mode and it looks like KDE Plasma for sure. I mean, I don't think there's any ambiguity about that. There's a dock as well, which is really slick. Let's go to the software side of things here. And here we go. It looks like there's a brand new UI for Steam, or at least the Steam Deck. And I think that this looks really nice, if I'm being quite honest. The Steam Deck, I'm wondering if this is what big picture mode is going to look like in the future, or if this is going to be an exclusive UI for the Steam Deck to kind of set it apart from desktop Steam. I don't know, but either way, I love how this looks. I think it looks fantastic. Everything kind of seems big, but that could be because it's running on a 7-inch screen and things have to be big to run on that screen. But yeah, this looks great. I love the design here. So it has all the features that you expect from Steam. It's got cloud saves, it's got community features, Steam chat notifications, remote play, absolutely, and the Steam store. Steam just works on deck. No matter how you prefer to interact with Steam on deck, thumbsticks, trackpad, touchscreen, or mouse and keyboard, it just works. This is so awesome. So we have, navigation on the left here. I think that's a better user experience than the other way that the Steam Big Picture mode works. We have notifications, right? We have what looks like search, I guess. Okay, that makes sense. And we have gameplay, of course. And it says the Steam overlay has been overhauled to give you access to more Steam features while the game is running. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm interested to know, with the fast startup and shutdown or sleep and resume, I'm wondering if it's going to have some of the features that like the Xbox Series X has, where you can like put a game to sleep and then bring up another game and then resume the other game you were playing at the exact point you left off. I mean, like save states would be super nifty if that's something they could implement. The new Steam operating system. On Steam Deck, your games run on a different operating system than they do on your desktop PC. Not on mine. It's a new version of SteamOS built with Deck in mind and optimized for a handheld gaming experience. It comes with Proton, a compatibility layer that makes it possible to run your games without any porting work needed to be done by the developers. For Deck, we are vastly improving Proton's game compatibility and support for anti-cheat solutions by working directly with the vendors. Hold on to your butts. A clickable link. Click. It's a Linux system. You know this. That's a reference to Jurassic Park. That's awesome. The new version of SteamOS is optimized for handheld gaming, and it won't get in the way with other stuff, meaning updates, for example. But if you want to get your hands dirty, head on out to the desktop. And again, that looks like KDE Plasma, and it's running on a CRT. That's pretty cool. So now that we've looked over kind of the marketing stuff, let's actually just look at the tech specs, because this is where things get really interesting. So we have, basic layout. I mean, all of this is pretty straightforward. We have 2 microphones, which I didn't notice in the renderings, but that makes a lot of sense. We have Abexy. Cool. Options, view, Steam, and quick access. Then we have L1 and L2 volume, headphone jack, fan, USB Type-C port on the top. Fascinating. Wait a minute. There's a USB Type-C port on the top. Is there one on the bottom as well? We have a status LED, a power button, and more. Wait a minute. Yeah, none of them are showing. It's on the top. Oh, look. It's being plugged in on the top. Ooh. There should be one on the bottom. That's not going to lie. It really should have it on the bottom. Look, again, it has the USB-C on the top. Ooh. That is interesting. Wowza. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, it's their thing. So let's look at the specs here. Processor is an AMD APU, It's a Zen 2 4-core, 8-thread, 2.4 to 3.5 gigahertz CPU running at 448 gigaflops. And the GPU, it looks like it's a Radeon-powered graphics card with up to 1.6 teraflops. That is impressive. And the APU uses about 4 to 15 watts of power. 16 gigabytes of DDR5, which is awesome. Optional 64, 256, or 512 gigabytes of high-speed PCIe NVMe. Although the 64 looks like it's eMMC PCI Gen 2 by 1. And the higher tier models are NVMe PCI Gen 3, 4. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Higher models cost more, and you get the better speed from the storage. We have input and controls. We've covered a lot of that, although it does say there's 3D haptics or HD haptics here. A resolution of 1280 by 800, which is a 16 by 10 aspect ratio, and that's slightly taller than a 720p image. But for a mobile device, I think that makes perfect sense, especially if you're just wanting to play the game on your handheld. So the USB-C port supports DisplayPort 1.4 up to 8K at 60 hertz or 4K at 120 hertz. That's actually really, really good. Like, that's impressive. I mean, I don't think that the GPU is going to be able to actually support that, but that remains to be seen, I guess. And this thing weighs about 669 grams. Nice. Oh, look, the operating system is SteamOS 3.0, which is based on Arch, ladies and gentlemen, and it runs KDE Plasma as its desktop. So SteamOS has been ported over to Arch. Okay, I'm down with that. That's pretty awesome, actually. Really, the only issue that I have is that the USB port is at the top of the device. I mean, like, docking it, you have to plug a cable into the top of the device. I mean, that's really the only flaw that I see with this machine, though. Like, wow. Okay, so let's find out how much it costs, shall we? $399 for the eMMC flash memory version. For the base NVMe, you're going to be looking at $529. And for the higher tier range, it's going to be $649. Now, I am definitely going to be trying to get a reserve on this. I really want one of these. I doubt during the chip shortage that I'm going to be able to pick one up, but that remains to be seen. I really want one of these. Holy cow. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Is this something that you want to get your hands on? Is this something that you're interested in playing around with, in owning, in using as a daily gaming device? Hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I want to say thanks to all of my patrons over on Patreon and all of the people and YouTube members who have supported me as well. It's because of these folks that I am able to do what I do here. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. If you believe in the work that I do, you can help support the show with a monthly contribution on Patreon or by becoming a YouTube member. Either way helps tremendously. But I think that's going to do it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.